Hey guys, it's Egotistical Anime here. I'm here with my Cardfight Vanguard Zero Legend deck profile of blasters. So I'm playing Barkall is my rearguard. Everyone knows what Barkall does if they play the game, but here it is. Uh, it's your superior ride, really, is what it's here for, is the superior ride into Blaster Blade. So a lot of times in this deck, what you want to do is keep a bunch of grade 1s in your hand and get rid of the grade 2s and 3s. Preferably maybe keep one grade 2 and in your hand, but you don't need it, because most of the time you're going to end up superior riding Blaster Blade from the deck. I'm playing 4 PGs, 4 Assault, because you need it to stay alive in this game. Without PGs, everything's a shit experience without PGs in this game. Let me tell you. I'm playing 2 Pongal, so I was playing 3 a while ago, but then I swapped it out for a 4th Young Pegasus Knight. And at one point I was actually playing 3 Pongal, 4 Marin, 2 Pegasus Knight, but Pegasus Knight is too much of an MVP for me to keep at the number it was at, so I just had to cut the Pongal and a Marin for it. I kind of fluctuate between the builds, and I'm trying to figure out which is best, but for now this is working out the best. So the thing is with Pongal is it's a Counterblast 1, put this into the soul and add a Soul Saver to your hand. Soul Saver is a really good card to push for game in this deck. It's kind of like, a lot of the times you'll be riding an Alfred, because it gets to 20k by itself, and 20k is a really good number to have, as we know, in this game. I'm playing Young Pegasus Knight, which is during your main phase, whenever a card is put into your soul, it gains 3,000. So with Barkall, if you play this on the turn that you would superior ride your Blaster Blade, it gets to 1800. So it can help you push for 3 hits on a Vanguard on grade 2, sometimes, or even 2 hits with 1 rearguard, because a lot of the time you're scared of hitting a trigger during grade 2. But this ensures that doesn't happen, or even if it does, the attack will go through. Because with 1800 as a supporter to another one of your grade 2s, like a Gancelot, that attack is not missing a grade 2, let alone a grade 3. It's kind of insane, bonkers nuts. So I'm playing 3 Marin. Like I said, numbers fluctuate, so I was playing 4 Marin, 3 Pongal, 2 Pegasus Knight. But Pegasus Knight was just so good that I had to up it. I'm playing 4 Blaster Blade. Blaster Blade's Counterblast to retire one of your opponent's grade 2 or higher rearguard. It's the soul of the deck. It's what all the cards really love, and with reason. This card is ridiculous, okay? It's how you win most of your games, because the interceptors normally get in the way. And all the other cards in the deck pretty much synergize with it. We have Akane. So, I'm playing 2 Akane. Akane is, whenever it's placed on Vanguard or Rearguard, Counterblast 2 and play a High Beast from your deck. So, this card really says, if you're versing a Kagero and they've... this card basically reads, if you're versing Kagero and they've retired your back Rearguard, search a Pongal from your deck. Even more than that, it's really actually Counterblast 3, play a Pongal from your deck, play a Soul Saver from your deck, because that's pretty much what it's also used for. So it's a really good multi-use card. If you have the Counterblast for it, it really saves your ass a lot of the time, because sometimes you just lose your boosters to Kagero, or you just didn't have enough to begin with, and that makes sense, because Kagero kind of fucks you up. We have 3 Marin. I already said that. I mean 3 or 4 Galantine is what I meant. They're both vanilla, so I got that confused for some odd reason. So Galantine is your average 10k beater. So the thing is, with the Galantine, the reason I'm playing this instead of other cards is I realize the other cards are shit. The only other good card is the one next to it, and Akane. The thing is, Blaster Blade you will always be riding, so the ones that have Vanguard effects, like Soul Vanguard effects, are like useless, alright? That's what I find all the time when I played them. And I was like, I would rather the 1k power than an effect that only works in Vanguard when I'm always, and I mean always, riding a Blaster Blade. And if I don't, things are bad. We're playing 2 of this. I might up this to 3 and cut the Blaster Dark. The Blaster Dark is just there for style, honestly. So if you have more rear guards, which you're playing Royal Paladin, so if you don't have more rear guards than your opponent, you're either first in Kagero, because fuck Kagero, or you didn't draw a Blaster Blade or something, or you're first in Oracle Think Tank, and somehow you don't have the counterblast for Blaster Blade. But at the same time, if you just make this your second attack and you have a full formation, it'll get its boost. So it's 11k, which is really good. Another thing is it can hit a 20k column. Is it if you have a Pongal and a Pegasus Knight with it, you use Pongal's effect, searching the Soul Saver, and then you boost the card with the Pegasus Knight, and it gets 20k, plus you have a Soul Saver, so that means it's actually going to be more than that. For all you know, you can make it a 30k if you really felt like it. I'm playing Blaster Dart. Blaster Dart's cool. If you have Blaster Javelin in your soul, it gets plus 1000. This is really a Shadow Paladin card. It's the only one you can play in this, and it's here for Majesty Lord Blaster later. But Majesty Lord Blaster's not around. So I think under, like, the wicked, wacky scenario where they retire your Barkall because they're like, Barkall? He's gonna ride a Blaster Blade, which doesn't happen very often. Most Kagero players don't focus on Barkall. They focus on what is it? The card that or the Forerunner that searches the the Perfect Guard all the time. That card drives me insane. So this card is kind of sometimes really good. It finesses Kagero occasionally. If they're idiots and don't search their Perfect Guard right away, this card can, like, retire the starting Vanguard if it's road, but a lot of the times I don't like riding it because Blaster Blade is almost always a better option, and it's almost always what you end up riding. It's interesting. This card's going to get a lot more use when MLB comes out, but before that, it's just kind of here, circumstantial. I think if I had more of them in the deck, if I had like 4 of them, I'd actually consider playing 4. Because in that circumstance, then I can, like, guarantee it more often. Another thing is we're playing 4 Gancelot and 3 Alfred early, so we want Blaster Blade in our soul really bad. But at the same time, once MLB comes out, I'm probably cutting the Alfreds for MLB, and then I'm cutting probably the 11k guy for 3 more of this, and at that point, it's actually more likely that I ride this. And retiring a Forerunner is really good, especially against Kagero. So it's actually, like, valid to play this card, unironically. That's the reason I'm playing it, but I'm always on the fence about cutting it or not. But it comes in handy on occasion. For grade 3s, I'm playing 4 draw Alfred. So the thing is with Alfred is he's the one that I ride the most. Because he gets to 20k, and his Counterblast 3 ability saves your ass. Another thing is if you're somehow at 5 damage, and you ride an Alfred, you activate Alfred's ability, search the Akane, Counterblast 2 more with the Akane to get the Pongal, and you get 3 rear guards out of it, and that's really good. That's like your entire formation is destroyed, and all of a sudden you rebuild it with one, or with, sure it is Counterblast 5, but that's like limit break level good. So it makes sense why you play them. I opened 3 normal ones and 1 SP. The next card is Soul Saver Dragon. So the reason I don't ride this card more often is because it's searchable, and it doesn't need to be in Vanguard spot to use its ability. A lot of the times I'll just call it behind Alfred and then use its effect because Alfred can't be boosted, but it gets to 20k anyway. So this card pushes for ridiculous damage. I'm going to build another deck that's going to be more budget, that's only going to play 1 copy of Soul Saver, and I'm going to show you guys that deck profile probably maybe even the same day, because this card is great. Soul Saver is a wonderful card. I'm also playing 4 Gancelot. So Gancelot's also an amazing card. It's the best card in the deck. It's by far easily the best Royal Paladin unit in the deck. So the thing is with this is Gancelot's only good if you play him as heal trigger. Gancelot's good anyway, but he becomes broken. Because you see, a lot of other decks have the problem of drawing their heals, and when they draw their heals, that's one less heal in their deck. With Gancelot, you draw him, you send him back to the deck, and search for a Blaster Blade, which is bonkers because you get to recycle the heal trigger that you drew, which means that heal isn't gone from your deck, and you get a card out of it. It's not just shuffle it back into the deck. It's shuffle it back and replace itself. Not to mention, in Vanguard, it's not even a bad card. Worst case, you've drawn all your Blaster Blades because of Gancelot, and you draw another Gancelot. You can ride this card, because it's a way to get a bonus critical. It's, if you have a Blaster Blade in your soul, counterblast 2, gain 5k and gain 1 critical until end of turn. It's busted. This card is literally the best card in the deck, for sure. It's a heal trigger that recycles itself, and it can give itself an extra crit. It searches Blaster Blade, your main unit. That is literally your win condition. Without this card, this deck would be literally the worst deck. It's already the worst deck of the format because OTT has Amaterasu and draws a million cards. Oracle Think Tank is a really good deck because of that. Kagero has Blockade and Dragonic Overlord, which just kind of naturally fuck up Royals' rearguard formations, because Royals have the biggest rearguard formation. Nova Grappler is basically the same deck because it just sands all of its shit to kill all of your rear guards except for your back row ones, and then it attacks you for lethal. But honestly, Gancelot just saves your ass. I'm playing 3 Alfred early. So the reason I'm playing 3 Alfred early is because it's a good card. It's a really good card. So the thing is, I'm playing it 3 crit Alfred early, and the reason I'm playing it is because out of all the cards that I want to pick for my Barkall, Alfred early is the one I want to pitch the most often. It's no offense to this card. Riding this card used to be my favorite ride back before I had more Alfreds. I used to ride this card all the time and I still ride it. If you draw a copy of this card, it's not a brick like all the other grade 3s in Royal Paladin, other than the ones I'm playing, because the other ones are bricks. This is not a brick. It's really good. Because all it does, and it's very simple, when it's placed on Vanguard, call a Blaster Blade from your soul, and you're always going to have a Blaster Blade in your soul, unless you've already used this card. And a lot of the time, you can use it to push your game after you ride the first Alfred, and you realize that's not going to work, and you're out of rear guards, and your formation is looking bad, and you need a grade 2, but you only have 1 in your hand, and they would have lethal otherwise. You just ride this, get the Blaster Blade out of your soul, counterblast 2, and then all of a sudden, you're back in the game. It's the card I pitch off of Barkall. I play 3 crit because I don't want to miss the Barkall Superior Ride, but I only play 1 stand. And the reason I play 1 stand is if you open it, you mulligan it away. And if you draw it again, it's not a bad card. So this is the heart and soul of the budget deck. The budget deck. This is a good card. Demon Slaying Knight, Loghergrin, I don't know how to pronounce it. Who cares? At the start of your main phase, Soul Charge 1, it gets plus 2k. So it's 12,000 on your turn, basically. And your Pegasus Knights get boosted by this too, so it can become 21k if you have a Pegasus Knight behind it. Which, that alone is ridiculously good. I don't need to say that, I don't think, because it just is. Another thing is, with Marin behind it, it's also 20k. So, against almost all the decks, it gets the number you want it to get, which is good, obviously. And it has a secondary ability that's really quite good itself. Because you're playing Barkall, you will always be able to use this ability if you're playing the budget deck. It's, when this unit attack hits, Soul Blast 6, Counterblast 4, retire all your opponent's rear cards. Feels like a Kagero unit, honestly. But in Royal, when you have a bunch of rear guards, getting rid of all your opponent's rear guards, it decimates their formation. Because they're not going to have boosters and attackers in their hand. And most of the time, the cards that they do save in their hand are perfect cards. This is the last card of the deck. Again, really, really good. I played at 1, and the reason I played at 1 is because it's the card I pitch off of Barkall at the beginning. And that's no offense, because this card is really good, but I'm not playing a heavy soul-related deck. I'm playing a minor soul-related deck. So this deck is really good. It's the deck that got me to Legend. 3 crit, 5 draw, 1 stand, 4 heal. Seems like having more than one of each trigger is kind of weird, and it is, but it's something you can handle. it's a really good deck. I recommend, if you can get the materials for this deck, I think you can get to Legend for sure. Yeah. So, hit me up on Discord. My tag is, ego, hashtag 7087. If you want to see more videos like this, that's good. I'd love to make more. And also, proof for the video. Legend 1. Yeah. I'm about to get up to Legend 2, hopefully, by the next video. Who knows? See you guys. This is Egotistical Anime, out.